everybody, meteorologist Sarah Gannon here with a quick update on the forecast, doing our Tuesday weather check. Hope everybody is having a great start to the week. Happy Tuesday. Hope you are looking ahead to a nice week for the rest of the week, I should say. Some changes though headed our way. I hope you all have been able to get out and enjoy those comfortable temperatures, comfortable conditions, because that's changing for the rest of the week, extending into the weekend. So kind of a quick glance here at your weather, your first alerts here, looking at humidity back in the forecast, temperatures on the rise here for the late week. We're also going to be keeping an eye on some shower and thunderstorm chances, some periodic chances here for the area, and also looking at just keeping an eye on smoke, haze here for the area as we look ahead to the rest of the week and the weekend. The good news is looking at some improvement when it comes to air quality here for the next few days, but we may see some changes by the weekend. So I'll kind of break down everything as we get going here in just a minute. Just need to take care of a quick alert here and we should be good to go. So if you're watching on Facebook, feel free to drop any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that into the comment section. I'll keep an eye on that here during the our weather check, our little discussion, and trying to answer those the best I can. And if you happen to be catching this a little bit later on, I'll keep an eye on the comments there for any follow-up questions, kind of on the back end once we finish up our broadcast here for tonight. But we'll just kind of dive into things as we look at those first alerts, as I mentioned. Keep an eye on shower and thunderstorm chances, smoke, temperatures, and humidity. So in terms of storm chances, we'll keep an eye out for some thunderstorm activity as we look ahead to tomorrow morning. Maybe a chance closer to the I-35 corridor, maybe another opportunity overnight Wednesday into early Thursday morning, plus another opportunity come the weekend. And with the weekend, we'll be watching a frontal boundary to pass through, and behind that frontal boundary, we could maybe be looking at a little bit more smoke, more wildfire smoke to filter back into the region. So that also has kind of a big question mark to it, so just something we're keeping an eye on. And of course, the temperatures, the humidity looking to be on the rise here for the upcoming week. First off, we'll just kind of dive into that air quality index. At this point in time here, right now, much of southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa in the green, the good category. There are a couple spots towards La Crosse, Mankato area, Albert Lea, that are in the moderate level. So for the next couple days, we'll kind of be bouncing between that moderate and that good level for us across southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. So much of the state looking to see some good improvement here in the coming days, looking into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I know what the forecast calls for moderate, but I'd say anything between moderate and good. It'll just kind of depend maybe hour to hour on how things look, but the good news is no air quality alerts or anything like that at this point in time, and we should be good to go for the rest of the work week. The question though comes looking further ahead to the weekend. Once that frontal boundary passes through, we're expecting to see a cold front roll through. So that may play a role in maybe bringing back a little bit of wildfire smoke. Kind of that discussion that I was looking at from the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. They're going to be watching that frontal boundary for that potential for more surface smoke to be moving into the area. So that means poor air quality, hazy skylines for the region. And the thing that they're also going to be keeping an eye on here in the coming days is it sounds like parts of Canada that maybe have a lot of that wildfire activity going on, they may be looking at some rainfall here in the coming days, so through the late week. So that could also play a role in if we don't see any smoke. So that's kind of the best case scenario. Rain can kind of help control some of those wildfires in Canada, and then we don't have that smoke that kind of filters back in. Or if we do see smoke that filters in, it won't be as bad potentially as maybe what this last run was. So it's kind of a big question mark when it comes to the air quality looking ahead to this weekend. But something we're going to be keeping a very close eye on here, and we'll give you that first alert to any upcoming smoke potentials that move in for the weekend. Temperature-wise, very comfortable 70s here at this point in time. Dew points, though, into the 60s for many of us. When we look at that dew point scale, we'll be looking at dew points to stay relatively comfortable here for tonight, but that changes tomorrow, looking at dew points back into the mid-upper 60s, and then area-wide looking at 70s for potential dew points between Thursday and into the weekend. So very humid conditions back in the area. At least we won't be looking at that high temperature, that high heat for most of us, but I'd say maybe Friday looking to be our hottest day of the week right now, but definitely that humidity making things uncomfortable feeling outside. Skies are quiet right now as we check in with your future track radar. We'll zoom out a little bit here and you can see where we're having maybe that potential for a little bit of some stronger activity some strong thunderstorms, severe activity happening right now through portions of North Dakota into South Dakota there, and that'll make its way into Minnesota. So looking ahead to our storm chance potentially for tomorrow morning, what we may have to watch out for is this line that's in South Dakota right now, looking to move into Minnesota here probably within the next couple of hours. That's something we'll watch for the early morning hours. And I'd say as it gets closer to our portion of southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa, the I-35 corridor, I think things will fizzle out. And we'll kind of look at that here in Future Track. You can see that here as we put things into motion, storms continuing to develop through the midnight hour, and as we get closer to the early morning, so about 6 a.m., 6 a.m., looking to be moving through Fairmont, Mankato area. But I think as these thunderstorms get closer to the I-35 corridor, they'll really start to fizzle out, kind of lose some steam, but that's not necessarily saying we will stay rain-free. Chance there for maybe some stray showers and thunderstorms towards the I-35 corridor, but I really think things start to kind of fall apart as the morning progresses. So I'd say by about 9, 10 o'clock, we're pretty much done for in terms of any possible rain chances, and we should stay pretty dry through the rest of the day. So daytime hours, managing a little sunshine there in the afternoon, and of course that higher humidity back into the area. Temperatures will be seasonal in the afternoon with the upper 70s, low 80s. Then we look ahead to Thursday, and I think into early Thursday morning, maybe another opportunity for some stray shower and thunderstorm chances, something we'll continue to watch for here tonight and into tomorrow to see kind of how those models change, if there is any change, or if they're continuing to stay consistent when it comes to that Thursday chance. So at this point in time, any shower thunderstorm activity that we have right now, keeping it at kind of a straight level at this point in time. We'll also be watching Saturday. We'll have that cold front pushing through. Right now, maybe looking at more of some garden variety showers and thunderstorms, but can't quite rule out that possibility of maybe a little bit of some stronger activity depending on how that front plays out and if we can get all the ingredients to play out for maybe a little bit more of some stronger activity. So something we'll monitor heading into the weekend. And one thing I did want to show you guys too, the Storm Prediction Center putting a level 1 severe threat, so a lower end threat for our Wednesday morning round and potentially into Thursday morning for our area. So a couple things that we're going to be watching, maybe if we can get any thunderstorms to sustain themselves. I think for tomorrow morning, I'd say maybe some gusty winds close to the I-35 corridor, maybe some small hail. But at this point in time, I would expect those thunderstorms to be weakening as they get closer to our neck of the woods. And then of course, we're going to keep an eye on Thursday. Not 100% sure on how things exactly will play out, but current model guidance has kind of been bringing that in earlier in the morning, so we'll see if that can kind of sustain some of that gumption to maybe have some gustier winds with that thunderstorm activity. In terms of tomorrow, a decent day, definitely looking at more humidity in the area. Temperatures will be seasonal in the upper 70s to low 80s. And again, morning chance there for some stray shower and thunderstorm activity, especially closer to the I-35 corridor. Not necessarily convinced we'll see anything make to the Riverside or maybe even to Rochester even, but I do think better chance towards Owatonna, Albert Lee, maybe into the Austin area, Mason City, looking at that chance for maybe some early morning shower and thunderstorms. Again, staying very straight manner, so just keep an eye on the radar, have that umbrella handy just in case we do get to see anything there for that morning drive. But otherwise, I think kind of a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day for tomorrow afternoon. Looking at that 7-day forecast, we'll keep an eye on a periodic shower and thunderstorm chances again at this point in time, staying very straight in manner. Maybe another opportunity for Saturday. Another opportunity late Sunday, overnight into Monday, possibility there. But hottest day of the week will be Friday, where we're looking at some mid to upper 80s and, of course, high humidity. So it'll probably be the worst day in terms of conditions for the area. But hey, it'll be dry. And then we'll look to see temperatures cooler back into more seasonal levels, low 80s for the weekend and into early next week. But that humidity is still looking to hang on. So with more of that humidity, more of that moisture in the atmosphere, does bring that chance for some stray showers, some pop-up activity into the afternoons, something we'll be watching here for the next upcoming week. So, seeing much in the comments. Wendy, hi, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'm definitely with you. I'm not excited about the dew points. Not excited at all. But hey, summertime, so have to kind of enjoy and embrace some of the heat here that we get in the summertime, because before we know it, I mean, we already just got into the start of August, just the first couple days here of August, and before we know it, the calendar will be flipping into October, November, and then the snow flies, and then we're back in winter. So I'd say, even though it's gross, I'm not a fan of it myself, but gotta enjoy at least a little bit of some warmth. Hi, Chip. Looks like you're watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'm not seeing anything in terms of questions here for the forecast here, but otherwise I think I'll kind of wrap things up. Have to get ready for our 9 o'clock broadcast on our sister station, Fox 47. You'll have a 9 o'clock broadcast there, and then of course we'll be back on KTTC at 10 o'clock. So we'll have Nick on for that. So hope everybody has a fantastic Wednesday, great rest of the week, and then we'll be back on Thursday again for another weather check as we gear up for the weekend. So unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to the cool, low humidity, lack of humidity, I should say. More humidity on the way, but and also keeping an eye on a couple storm chances here. So fingers crossed that we can hold off some of that wildfire smoke and that poor air quality into the weekend. But again, your First Alert Weather team will have you up to date and informed on all of that. We'll be keeping a close eye on that air quality forecast and potential maybe for some more smoke this weekend. So just keep an eye on the forecast and we'll keep you guys updated. So hope everyone has a fantastic Wednesday. We'll see you back here on Thursday. Have a good one, everybody.